Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something really important, something I know is on the minds of, well, all of you school managers and administrators listening. How do we actually improve academic performance? Not just for some students, but for every student in our schools.
Absolutely. And, we're not just aiming for vague goals here. We're going to dig into specific strategies, things backed by research, things that actually work in practice. We've really looked at what moves the needle.
Exactly. So our mission today is to pull out those key insights, the practical stuff that you can hopefully take back and use to make a real difference in your students' academic lives.
Yeah.
We zeroed in on 6 key areas. Think of it as a roadmap. First, structure and consistency, the foundation.
Right.
Then, identifying learning gaps early, being proactive.
Crucial.
After that, time management skills, empowering students. Then, teacher-student communication, that vital link.
Can't forget that one.
Oh, then personalized learning, tailoring the experience, and finally, the real power of effective feedback.
And look, while the goal is broad, helping everyone succeed the solutions, well, they often lie in these focused, intentional steps. It's about building that supportive environment, where every single learner can actually thrive.
Okay, so let's jump into the first one. Structure and consistency. It might sound basic, but honestly, the effect of a predictable learning space on focus, it's pretty significant.
Oh, it really is. When kids know what to expect, the rhythm of the day, the rules, it creates this sense of safety.
Right.
And then their brains aren't busy trying to figure out what's next. They can actually focus on, learning.
So what does that look like in practice?
Well, think about clear daily routines they can count on, consistent class schedules so things are predictable,
Okay.
and things like classroom management techniques being applied the same way fairly across different classes. It just creates stability.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's more than just keeping things orderly, right? It's also about aligning what's being taught with really clear learning goals.
Exactly. Clear objectives. Research shows, when students are actually involved in setting those goals, or at least understanding them clearly, their ownership just shoots up.
Engagement increases. Retention, too.
Precisely. And that clarity, it helps everyone, but it's especially helpful for students who might struggle a bit more with focus or, filtering out distractions.
Which leads us perfectly into the next point, spotting those learning gaps early on.
Yes, being proactive here is just, essential. If you wait until a student is way behind, it's just so much harder to catch them up effectively.
So how can schools get ahead of the curve on this? I mean, practically speaking.
Well, one really powerful way is to actually use your student information system, your SIS, effectively. Like really dig into grade trends.
Not just the final grade, but the pattern.
Exactly. Look beyond just the average grade in a class. Is there a lot of variation? A big spread.
Okay.
Even with a decent class average, high variability might mean some kids are falling behind. Your SIS, like DreamClass, for instance, can help you see that. It helps pinpoint who needs help and where. Are there patterns, maybe struggles in specific topics?
Right. So the data's there. It's about using it.
Yes. And it's not just grades either. It's about using that data to drive targeted interventions.
Okay. So the SIS flags a potential issue.
Yeah. Maybe a student is consistently missing a foundational math concept early on. You see that trend in DreamClass. Then you can put specific supports in place right then.
Instead of waiting for the big test weeks later.
Exactly. Prevent that small gap from becoming a chasm.
Yeah.
And it means teachers need the flexibility to adapt their teaching based on what the data is showing for individual kids.
And you mentioned foundational subjects. Math, literacy, getting those right early on seems critical for everything that followed.
Oh, absolutely. It sets the trajectory. Strong foundations early mean much better long-term academic success. It's undeniable.
Okay, let's pivot a bit. Let's talk about empowering the students themselves with skills like time management.
Yes. This is huge. It's not just about hitting deadlines, is it?
No, it's more fundamental.
It's about giving them agency, responsibility for their own learning process.
So what can schools do to help cultivate that? What are some practical tools or strategies?
Well, providing easy access to things like timetabling tools, digital calendars, that's a good start. And often these are features built right into a good SIS, like DreamClass has those capabilities.
Right, making it accessible.
Yeah, and encouraging kids to actually use study planners. Consistency is key there.
And I really like the idea you mentioned earlier, assignments with staged deadlines.
Oh, definitely. Breaking down big projects into smaller, manageable chunks.
Takes away that deer in headlights feeling.
Exactly. It makes it less overwhelming, teaches them planning, organization. It's a skill that helps across the board in every subject. Less procrastination, more systematic work.
Okay, moving on to another really crucial element, communication. That connection between teachers and students.
And not just teacher-student, but school-home communication, too. It's all part of the same ecosystem. It's absolutely fundamental.
So how can we strengthen that?
Yeah.
Especially in busy schools.
Well, technology can be a massive help here. Think about using the messaging tools within your SIS.
Like the ones in DreamClass.
Precisely. For sending quick academic updates, reminders, it keeps teachers, students, and parents in the loop efficiently.
So everyone's on the same page.
Yes. And establishing regular check-ins, too. They don't have to be long, formal meetings always. Sometimes just brief, informal chats can make a big difference to a student feeling seen and supported.
And consistent parent-teacher communication builds that partnership, right?
Absolutely. It shows parents you're working together. And providing timely, specific feedback on how students are doing, that's key for accountability.
For the student and for keeping parents meaningfully involved. That transparency is vital.
Which brings us nicely to personalized learning. This is really seen now as a cornerstone of effective teaching, isn't it?
It really is. Recognizing that, one size definitely does not fit all. Students learn differently at different paces.
And technology and data are making this much more achievable now. We can offer differentiated materials based on ability or even interest.
Tailoring the content.
Yeah, and allowing for flexible pacing, letting students move faster through stuff they get or take more time where they need it.
Mastery-based, almost.
Kind of. And critically, using that student data again, often managed within your SIS like DreamClass, to actually inform teaching decisions.
So the data tells you what they need.
It helps guide you. Maybe this group needs more support on fractions, while this student is ready for enrichment. You can see that in the patterns. DreamClass helps track that progress.
So, for example, in math, some kids might use adaptive software, others might need a small group session.
Exactly. The data helps you decide the best approach for different students or groups. It's particularly powerful for kids who aren't, let's say, right in the middle of the average learning curve.
Ensures everyone gets a chance to really hit their potential.
Precisely, regardless of where they start.
Okay, last key area, but definitely not least, feedback.
Yeah, yes. And we're talking about feedback that actually drives improvement, not just a grade on a paper.
Right, more than just a number.
Exactly. For feedback to really work, it needs to be constructive, it needs to be specific, and crucially, timely.
Soon after the task, ideally.
Yes. And it works best when students know what they're being assessed on clear expectations.
So they understand the goalposts.
Right. Good feedback then clarifies where they went wrong or what they did well. It encourages them to think about their own learning.
Metacognition.
Yeah, and set goals. And it builds that growth mindset, this idea that I can get better with effort.
That's so important. How do we make it a regular thing, not just after big exams?
By embedding feedback loops right into the daily or weekly classroom routine. It shouldn't be a rare event.
Little and often.
Yeah, quick checks, maybe peer review sometimes, mini assessments during a lesson, ways to give immediate targeted feedback. It helps students adjust their approach as they learn and feel supported doing it.
Okay, so we've covered these 6 big strategies: structure, early identification, time management, communication, personalization, feedback. And it seems like a common thread running through many of these is the role of good data and, well, a good system to manage it.
Absolutely. And this is where, working with DreamClass, we see how a well-integrated student information system really acts as an engine for these strategies.
Right. It's not just administrative. For instance, we talked about analyzing grade trends. DreamClass is specifically designed to help schools do that, to spot those early warning signs, giving you the data to step in proactively.
Definitely. And the communication piece. The messaging tools built into DreamClass are designed to make that teacher-student-parent communication smoother, more efficient, keeping everyone connected on progress.
Yeah, we hear that a lot from schools using it. And time management, too. The time cabling features, the assignment tracking in DreamClass. They directly support students in getting organized, managing deadlines, including those stage ones we liked.
It provides that structure for them. And while personalized learning involves a lot of teacher skill, DreamClass provides that essential back-end support. Tracking those individual plans, managing the data teachers need to differentiate instruction effectively. It gives them the insights.
So the system handles the data complexity, freeing up teachers to teach.
In many ways, yes. And for feedback, having all that performance data centralized in DreamClass gives educators that holistic view. They can easily see progress, identify strengths, pinpoint areas needing more support, and deliver feedback based on that full picture.
So really, DreamClass isn't just about streamlining admin tasks, though it does that too. It's fundamentally about enabling these proven strategies to boost student performance.
That's exactly how we see it. It's a tool designed to support better student outcomes based on these principles.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, thinking about some common questions administrators might have, what tools are best for actually monitoring academic progress day to day?
Well, the resources consistently point to two main types. Student information systems like DreamClass and often learning management systems or LMSs. They're essential for that, real-time tracking grades, yes, but also attendance patterns, the feedback being given, tracking interventions.
It's the central hub for that data.
Exactly.
And we touched on study skills. How directly can an SIS like DreamClass help students develop better habits?
Quite directly, actually. As we said, features like the scheduling tools, the assignment tracking, even the communication channels that remind them of tasks, they all contribute to building better organization and time management. Foundational study skills.
Okay. And if you had to boil it down, what are the top student habits linked to better grades?
The research generally highlights three main things. Solid time management, using active study strategies, not just passive reading, and importantly, actively seeking out and using feedback.
And it's clear how a system like DreamClass can support all three of those, helping students build those effective habits.
Definitely. It facilitates the structure and the information flow needed.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The main takeaway here seems to be that improving academic performance across the board isn't some mystery.
No, it's not.
It comes down to deliberate action. Implementing structured environments, being really proactive about learning gaps, teaching time management, strengthening all lines of communication, embracing personalization where possible, and making feedback a constant, constructive part of the process.
Couldn't have said it better. And as we've discussed, we genuinely believe that a platform like DreamClass isn't just software, it's a strategic partner in making these effective strategies a reality in your school. It's designed to support these very goals.
So a final thought for all you administrators and school leaders listening. Take a look at your own school, your specific situation. Which one or two of these strategies could potentially make the biggest, most immediate positive impact right now? And then think about how leveraging a comprehensive system like DreamClass could help you implement that change effectively, creating that environment where truly every single student has the best possible chance to succeed and thrive. It's about connecting these pieces for holistic improvement.